that you need to take out, that's where you get stuck. But thank goodness we got the brightest gentleman in the world is joining us,
Oh,
Mr. IT himself, Ted Hicks.
golf
What's up,
club.
Ted? Hey, good to see you, Ted. How you doing, man?
How you doing, Randy? How you feeling?
I'm feeling great, man. Today
It's,
I go get my first COVID shot. It's kind of scary, but hey, you got to do it.
you'll be all right. You'll be all
Yeah.
right. It's. Do you know? Is it going to be Moderna? Is it going to be Pfizer? Is it going to be J&J? Or you're not sure
I
yet?
didn't even ask.
Okay.
And the nurse told me, she said, don't worry about it. Any vaccine is a good vaccine, better than not having a vaccine.
That's
She
true.
said, no matter what you hear on the media, don't worry about it. They're all basically the same. It just
It really
depends how
is.
you get them. Don't worry about it.
Randy, you're
And
gonna be fine. You're gonna be fine. I got the first shot I got back in January, and then round about Martin Luther King Day, and then the second one was like right before President's Day. You'll be fine.
all right, there you go.
You'll be
Now, the
fine.
nurse did tell me one thing that I did not know before. Once you've been vaccinated, you may still able to pass
Yes,
COVID to others. So you
yes.
have to be very careful.
You still
I
have to
had
be careful.
Yeah. A
I,
gentleman at our office thought, oh, no, I've been vaccinated. I can't give it to you. And
oh
then I
no.
asked, and she said, no, they can pass it just like anybody else.
Yes. And the one thing they do say is if you're so in the States, and MMA for Money can testify to this, that if you're around other people that are vaccinated, you can put away the mask.
Is that true? I thought that was not true.
Yeah, well, in the States, if you're vaccinated, you can if you are speaking with someone else in a small group and they've been vaccinated, you don't have to wear a mask. But everywhere else, any public setting, you have to wear a mask. And yes, you can still pass it on. So I don't want to say false sense of security.
I hear you. You don't want to feel like Superman. You still got to be.
No.
Yeah.
You might feel, knowing you, Randy, you're gonna feel like the super soldier. You're gonna feel like the Winter Soldier. And
I didn't take it to heart until my colleague died last week.
yes.
And that's when it hit me. The guy I sat next to for 5 years died in 2 weeks with no problem. He just went home, got it, and died 2 weeks later. So that's when I said, whoa. And nobody takes it serious, I think. You see a lot of commenters here and there and everywhere else. Oh, this and oh, that. Until somebody in their family or somebody they sat next to every day passes away.
So true. One of my best friends, his mom was, and this is where the fabric is connected. One of my best friends, his mom passed away from COVID, and she was in a nursing home in New York. So the stuff that you hear about, well, you might not hear about being in Saudi Arabia, about Governor Cuomo and the nursing homes and the deaths and everything else like that. One of my buddies, his mom was in a nursing home, and I don't know how she got classified, whether it was in a hospital or whether she was, they classified her as dying in a nursing home, but she's no longer here. And you look back and you see all the people that we've lost because I think everyone in this chat right now, and there's up to 184 live messages, knows someone that's no longer here.
Yes. That's very serious. Yeah, the only thing I'm hearing lately on Twitter and the news around here is that Como is pervert, and he's probably going to join that group in the prison. It looks like they're going to bring him down.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I hold on. That's my wife in the back talking. But yeah, Cuomo's in trouble. Cuomo is in trouble. It's sad. It's sad that you have to, you have to tell someone that they should keep their hands to themselves. It's sad that you have to say.
I have another view about this too.
Oh, okay.
Men and women have been giving sexual social innuendos to each other since the beginning of time. And I don't know if the guy did it daily, then that's harassment.
Right.
But people always joking back and forth. I don't know. I think we got too much of a cancel culture going on. And
Potentially.
if you didn't
Potentially.
say it was a problem when it was a problem, now all of a sudden a decade later it's a problem. I'm sorry. I'm not into that program.
So Randy, I want to say this to you. So I've been away from my colleagues at work for about a year. So when we finally do come together, and I'm sure everyone's going to be hugging each other and so happy to see each other because that's what we do on Zoom and Teams. I'm sitting back in the back of my mind is like, well, you see someone of the opposite sex, I guess you have to say, can I hug you? Whereas that wouldn't even be a thought 5 years ago.
Yeah, so I guess squeezing a little left cheek down there is really out of the question, huh? Lord, I better be careful. I like to give a little hug and a little squeeze occasionally. Sorry.
Got you. Oh my goodness.
You guys know I'm joking, by the way.
Exactly. We know you're joking. Yeah. Please, everyone in social media, all the people that we've all shared the show, Randy show out, shared Randy show out with. We're just joking. There's nothing serious behind this because I know everyone gets worked up, and the next thing you know, they're calling our jobs tomorrow, Randy.
Yeah, you can call mine. My boss love to hear from you. You'll have a great time with him. He actually comes on. He's been on with me live before.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, you know what? We don't have here in this area. We don't have a cancel culture. We find that to be against God's principles and against Him. And when you don't embrace your brother, even when he's up, down, right, or wrong, you're not acting like the person you should be. So we have a lot of people in this world. Oh, I hate them. I block them. I hate them. Well, you know what? I don't think God would want you to do that to the people and the creations that He's put on this planet. Now, if you're not a believer and all that, well, that'll be up to you. But I believe you got to. I make friends with so many people, even that we're total opposites. And I always find something in that person that motivates me or makes me feel good or inspires me. And it's really strange. I really feel that sometimes.
Randy, you're a giving person. I'm going to tell you this much. I didn't know you. I wasn't a scoper. So, a lot of people know you from Periscope. I didn't really do Periscope. You were one of the first people that reached out to say hello, to hit subscribe, and I think that's just in your DNA. So,
well, I like to be sitting here talking with people, and like I was saying, you're one of the great people I've met. It's fantastic. So it's great to know you. And when you were on the first time I saw you with your friend there, and he was all up in it, oh, come on, man.
and the thing is, the best thing, what I do with late night parents is I speak with different people. I speak with different people all the time to get a different flavor of it. And my buddy True, he gets worked up.
He's fired up. I was enjoying that. I was having a great time. I like the way he does. And you push it to him though. You've got showmanship in you. Because you down there pulling on him a little bit. You see his string hanging and you're tugging at it. You're doing it slowly, but you're tugging at it. You're getting him to do it. So
it's funny.
It is great.
True and I have been friends for 40 years, believe it or not.
Somebody tweeting the heck out of me.
I said True and I have been friends for 40 years now. So I do kind of jerk his chain a little bit and get him going. And
by the way, hey, what's up, Tierra? Hello, Jamie. We got Marion by the lake. Hello. Cup of Joe, thank you, and hello. I'd like to remind everybody while you're here, Bobby, hello. Remember, this is Ted. Ted, you need to put a comment down there a couple of times.
Okay, got it.
Not following Ted Hicks, you're missing on great weekly shows. He's just really has good stuff. Lena, hello and welcome from San Diego. There you go. Ted, just put it down there. I'm going to put a good heart on it. That way you guys can see it. What you do, you just click on and subscribe. Let me put that thumbs up on it. There it is.
Got you. Thank you.
Now, make sure you subscribe to Ted.
Big
Welcome,
shout out to Vince. Vince, how you doing?
Benita's here from Fort Myers. Welcome, Benita. Benita, hello and welcome.
Definitely.
So what are you doing this great evening, or what's your plan? What's going on in your life?
So it's in New York. It's 10:44 p.m. I was wrapping up. I just did a quick, a stream with one of my buddies it was his first time jumping on Haps. It's like some of my friends, I got to pull them on because they're like old school audio podcasters.
I hear you.
Hey, Jackie, how you doing? So I was getting a couple of them on. I've been trying to bring them on one by one. Like, guys, it's a great community. What else? Besides that, that's really it. I was finishing up with that, and we were in the pre-studio just talking about basketball, talking about this, and then that's when I had the other tab up, and I saw you were on. I said, "Oh, Randy's on." I said, "All right, guys, I gotta go. Randy's on." I said, He just invited me to his broadcast. So I was like, "This is royalty. Royalty calls you, you come."
Chris says hi, Ted.
Hey, Chris, how you doing?
Said I subscribed. Another gentleman said I subscribed.
Thank you.
Hello from Richmond on Brian. There you go. You know what? My problem is most of my friends that are on social media are actually professional broadcasters.
Okay.
And they do YouTube, and they actually make a living at it.
Oh,
so
okay.
They cannot come here and risk during beta. They need for everything to be quality. I have some pros on YouTube and pros on Twitch, and they're just not coming until the beta is over with. They see the platform. They think when it's all good, they'll be ready. But at the current time, they just can't. They just, if this is your total income, people don't take a chance on the beta.
Yeah, no, I totally get it. I totally get it. I understand. And, it's just one of those things where it's not the finished product. And I guess we're going to help them to the finish line. If we can do that, then great. And then we have a finished product, and then we see where we go with it.
There you go. Well, we had all decided about a year ago. Takara, I invited you. We decided a year ago, a group of us, that we would all go to YouTube. And I cheated the group, and I went a different path. And now they're on YouTube, and they've really got thousands of viewers and things, and they really put the time into it. And at that time, I didn't go to YouTube because the live chat was so slow, I couldn't keep track of it.
Okay.
Somebody would comment, and due to the latency that's there naturally to moderate, you can't keep a conversation going, It's so far behind, I couldn't figure out. People were commenting about something we said 5 minutes ago. So it was like, hey, how can you have a conversation with that?
Hey, Randy, I got Information Man is in the queue. Well, he's in the chat. He's asking if he can come up to speak for a
He's more than welcome. I thought I already invited him. Where is it at? Put a message up so I can invite you.
Information Man, put a message up.
Just type hello, hello. We'd love to have you up. I thought I invited you once. We'll do it again. I'm waiting on his message, and I'll click it. Okay, here we go. Boom.
Vanita, how you doing?
Okay, Infoman, you are invited. Come on up. We'd love to hear from you. We're just chillaxing with Mr. Ted, and Ted ran away by accident, or he clicked something by accident. Ted, well, we'll see you in a little while if you make it. Oh, there you are. What'd you do? You run away?
Oh, never. Never that.
Infoman, you've been invited.
Infoman, you've been invited.
Is he on a phone or a computer?
I believe he's on a computer.
Well, then he should see it. If you're on a phone, it's a little hard sometimes.
But I got to tell you, as we wait for Infoman, you are great with streaming from your phone in the car and everything else like that.
Man, you know what I did? I wanted to experiment if I can broadcast with the least expensive Android phone and the least expensive headset. I did it.
How was the Poco?
It does great. I did a complete broadcast with it yesterday. It works great.
I was
There is
watching
no
some of it.
video stabilization though. So when you're walking, the videos are,
Oh, okay.
So if you need stabilization, you need some type. I guess you need what's that called? The thing you hold, gimbal.
Oh, okay.
If it's stationary broadcasting or mounting, it's okay, but it definitely needs a gimbal. But what do you expect for $100-some? You're not
I
going to be
know.
on the road.
I think you said in US dollars it would have been about $130, $140. That's not bad.
Yeah, that's it. So
You
I just
know,
want to experiment and see, can that do the job? Once Haps made that work, I knew Haps was doing a good job.
versus $1,000 iPhone.
I wish they were only 1,000. They're 1,500 now. I've got the $1,500 one, and it does good.
Okay.
But I wanted to concentrate on making it where anybody can broadcast. Hello, Ted. I'm fine, thank you. Says Vanita. Jan, I was surprised the camera for the cost was super resolution. Yeah, it's not bad, Jan. I think the camera facing outward is like 40 megapixel. But then again, it depends on the compression, the GPU, the CPU, the whole phone. It's a complete package. It's like you can have a 10,000 horsepower car, but if you got no tires on it, it's going nowhere.
It's true.
I broadcasted from my phone with no problems as well. Yeah, Tony, I got it rolling. We have the most, oh my God, podcaster, news personality, and information man.
Hey, what's going on, fellas? What's going on, folks?
Slow golf
Gentlemen,
clap.
what's
Good to
going
see you.
on? What's going on? What's going on? Good to see you. It's good to see you, Ted. It's good to see you, Randy. Hey, Randy, I've watched you from afar. You're out there in the Middle East. I like your personality. You did a video where you were talking about how, we live in this politically correct society today. People are a little uptight about this and that. And so I like your attitude. You're old school, which I can relate to that in the way you see things. And I appreciate that. And I appreciate it, Haps, for providing this kind of platform for people to express themselves and really connect. It is in the beta stage. I'm a YouTuber, so I'm more known in the YouTube streets, as we call it. But I still want to rock with using the platform to see it all the way through to getting out of the beta stage. Now, I've been recording a lot of my live streams because I'm having a hard time with my equipment that I use for my shows, with the fact that it's in beta stage still right now. So I'm playing around with some things, but it's good to be up here with you and brother Ted. I enjoy what he does as well on his program. So thank you.
Well, thank you. We're glad to have you here, man. What a well-spoken gentleman. We really appreciate you. And if you don't mind saying hello down below and sharing your YouTube so we know how to catch you. Everybody I follow on YouTube, There's a good group of all sorts of folks on YouTube. Go ahead.
Just type it in.
Just type it in. This Information Man Show. I'm Googleable, so you can find me all my social media all over. But I will give everybody a warning. My YouTube content is a little bit more raw than what I do on Haps. A little bit more raw. I get into a lot of social issues, political issues, like I do on Haps, but a little bit more in your face type stuff. So just want to give everybody a warning.
There you go. I like the pre-warning. I like to say I'm natural. I'm a realist naturally. And if you can't handle real stuff and you need somebody to blow cotton candy up your backside, I'm not the guy either, I'm not going to blow
candy.
it up,
I like that.
That's your disclaimer,
right.
World. That's your disclaimer. We would usually say that's your disclaimer, America, but this thing is international. Right. Hey, I do want to say, who just sent a super clap? Oh, wait, that was me.
Thank you, Ted. Yeah, super clap.
Okay.
Super clap for you, Randy. Thank you for all that you've done. I as I was saying before, I enjoy connecting with you. Also, Information Man, a whole bunch of folks, and also Michael Bathurst. I love his morning show. It's a great morning show. Sometimes it's Zen. Sometimes he has, a bunch of folks up there. Michael Show's good. It's really, really good.
I think I've
Michael's
caught
out
him
here
live
somewhere.
as well.
I've seen him roaming around.
Definitely good.
Infoman, what's your next show about? What are you going to be telling us?
Well, what I'm doing now, I'm doing a weekly news show. So everything that I'll be talking about is everything that's happening in the news, different events as they come into play. So tonight,
left or right?
I'm kind of like Ted would tell you, man. I'm kind of down the middle. I will jump. I have no cut card. I will talk about Democrats, Republicans. If the Democrats are doing something that I don't like, I'm going to call them out. If Republicans are doing something I don't like, I'm going to call them out. I look at myself more as an independent, when politically speaking, because there's things that I don't like with both these political parties in America. It's kind of crazy. But Randy, I wanted to tell you
against the political party. Actually, I think once you reach the federal government and you still hold the political party in your mind, you should be fired. That's not what we want. Federal government's for people, for all people.
Yeah. I think, unfortunately, I personally believe that the political party system has unfortunately divided the country because people are getting caught up into these flags of red states, blue states, and it's dividing us. It's tribalism, basically, based on what part of the country you live in. And I think it's kind of dangerous because politicians, the media, which I think the media is full of crap too, they play off of this stuff to pit us against each other, all groups of people against each other, all for this political stuff. And these politicians, they're playing games. And they'll tell me and you that they can't give us health care, but they got the best damn health care that money can buy off of our tax dollars. Or they'll say, hey, we can't give you this stimulus package. Hey, it's our money. You're arguing over how much to give us of our own money. It's crazy.
Exactly. You know what, though? It's natural for people to bond or to group together. From the people in your house to the people on your street to the guys at high school to the football team to the church to the clubs you're in. We all bond together. There's like if you're living in Tennessee and a guy's come down from New York, of course they're going to bond against each other. Oh, Tennessee will back you. People just naturally love to be a part of a community. And it's kind of easy to welcome every community, but at the same time, it's really hard. People are comfortable in groups and tribes, and it's a comfort level. But you're pinning each other against each other, that is no way to be.
Right. Let me ask you a question, because you said something earlier about the virus and how people didn't take it serious. I know people personally who are no longer here. And I have an up close and personal experience with it. I didn't have it, but I work in mental health, and I deal with guys in a medical prison in California. And we had to literally shut down where we had guys catching it. We got rapid testing going on. I mean, I get tested every week that I come in, and they were also offering, vaccines and things of that nature. And on my YouTube channel, I had been covering, believe it or not, I had been covering this virus from the very beginning before people were even talking about it. And there were a lot of people coming up with conspiracy theories. And I'm at a point now, like, I don't give a damn about conspiracy theories anymore, whether the government created or not. I don't care about that. What I care about is the fact that it's here, it's killing people, or it has killed people. And that's the reality. So what are we going to do about it? Because it's here. It ain't going away. It ain't gone away. It's a big problem.
Very true. It's here, so we got to deal with it.
So how are they handling it where you live? Because in America, it's a clusterfuck, man. We got different states doing their own damn thing based on, once again, I'm a Republican, you're a Democrat. Republicans.
They did a report of the 5 best places to be on Earth during the virus, and Saudi was in the top 5.
All right.
They took it serious at the very beginning. Locked everything down, closed the borders. It didn't matter if you were here on a vacation or what. The border was closed. Nobody comes, nobody goes. And their citizens are still locked down. The foreigners can leave, non-citizens. So they took it serious early.
Well, let me ask this question, because I've read some articles about this. When you have, I have a passport, so I've traveled to myself. when you have countries that have been used to dealing with pandemics or diseases, they become accustomed to understanding the protocols of how to deal with it. I don't think the United States, since unfortunately the term Spanish flu that we use, I don't think the United States was built to deal with this, because we're sort of in a bubble and we're insulated here in America. And not to mention this, sir, and brother Ted, sir, to you too, brother Ted, that America's medical system, since I've been working in it for a long time now,
Okay.
it's not built for public health, because we have a for-profit health system in America, which I believe is one of the contributing factors to so many people dying, because we don't really have a true public health. We operate on who can pay that type of system, and he or she that has the money gets the best health care. And our system was completely overwhelmed by this. Not to mention that I don't think Donald Trump did a great job handling it, but that's just my opinion.
What I see, America claims to be the most prosperous country on the planet, the best, the number one. The best thing we export out of America has nothing to do with products, it's culture. You can go anywhere on the planet and there'll be some kid in a village doing a Tupac shuffle, you know. We export our culture, but we don't take care of ourselves, and we are not leading in any human rights whatsoever.
Right.
In the country that's supposed to be the top of the top, the best of the best, we treat you differently when your medical needs are there, depending on your ability to pay. Whenever you put a man's life up against his wallet, you're no better than Germany was back in the days when that man was shooting everybody. So you get better treatment because you got more money than me, or I get better treatment because I'm in a political position. So that's all nonsense. That is anti-human rights. That is the most disgusting thing on the planet. Can you believe it? We live in a society, or we were born and raised in America, where, hey, guess what? If I get better health care because I got money, you can't have health care because you're poor. What in the hell is that about?
And that's simply the reason why I find it hypocritical that most of our politicians in America are getting some of the best health care that money can buy off of our tax dollars. When they retire, they're completely covered, everything. But they have a problem with somehow sharing the wealth with those that are sharing the wealth with them economically through our tax dollars. It's sort of a shame. One of the things I'm getting sick of hearing, and I know it's something we got to deal with, I'm interested to know what you gentlemen think, and is one of the messaging in America that people are saying over and over again, which I believe is cultural conditioning, is they keep saying on mass media, new normal, new normal, new normal, new normal. You're hearing that being repeated over and over again. New normal, new normal. And I think it has because I work in mental health, I think it has it creates fear in people and stress, because we have had in America, Randy, we have had a lot of Americans take their life because of the social isolation and hearing over and over again how many people are dying. I've had to turn it off myself during when we were in the heat of all of this. And then you get the messaging of the new normal, new normal. It just adds more anxiety to people.
Yeah, that's true. I agree with you on that. It's definitely people are trying to. I think that's why apps and social media is so popular now.
Yeah,
people turn their TVs off. They don't want to hear it no more. They've had enough. Whether you love Trump or hate Trump, the last name I want to hear is Trump's name.
Right.
I'm tired of it.
The only thing I want to add in is information, man. You got to turn off that cable news. You have to turn it off.
I don't even have cable, Ted. I got rid of my cable a long time ago. I read, I look at a few things on YouTube to keep myself abreast on what's going on. But at some point I even have to turn that off and not consume it. Yeah. But the best thing I did for myself a few years ago was to get rid of my cable, because I found that, and it's almost like being on drugs. In the beginning, I was like, I can't watch this, I can't watch that. And then over time, I realized, because I started doing other stuff, I started realizing I'm not missing television, cable at all. Nope. I don't even think about it. I don't care what show I'm missing.
5 years ago, I turned off the TV.
Yeah. I mean, I got don't get me wrong. I got Netflix, I've got Amazon Prime, so I do still look at movies streaming, but I'm not looking at traditional cable TV at all.
Yeah.
Can
I'm
y'all
like you.
see
I'll
me?
do some streaming stuff. If there's a little article on Twitter or maybe YouTube, I'll watch it. But when it comes to any type of network cable system, no, I don't look at it at all.
Yeah.
Can y'all see me
I'm
at
not
all?
into it.
We can
Oh,
see
there we go,
you.
Ted. We gotcha.
Tony
Yeah,
K's in the building.
Tony's
Hey, I
in.
was about
Hey,
to
how
go
you
to bed,
doing,
but y'all
Tony?
going in, man. I got to get up for this. Though I'm gonna be mad tomorrow.
What's going
Information,
on, man?
Good finally
What's going
talking
on?
to you, information, man. I know we've been trying to get up. This is a good roundtable right here. I kind of like this, so y'all keep it going, please.
Definitely.
Good to see you in the flesh, man. Good to
You
see
too,
you.
man.
We're ready
You too.
for your valuable input here.
I mean, he nailed it. Information man nailed it. The new norm is a real anxiety, and that's what made me jump on because I think he hit it on the head with everything that's going on, and definitely with the healthcare issue, like you all said, that was absolutely correct. So I'm just ready to. I'm gonna be up another 30 minutes, or I'm gonna regret this in the morning. Come on, y'all.
You know what's funny though? Here we are, and we all agree on the same thing, but it doesn't make it to the hill. Why is
Nope.
that?
It makes
Why
it to
does
the
it
hill,
never
but the
get passed
appeal,
up as people? It never
the
goes
appeal
further.
against what we want is what's stopping everything. Just like you said with the stimulus package. When we were talking about reparations about a month ago, I was telling everybody it doesn't make any sense that we don't have it when you already know what's going on. You got everything that you need to put it in place. If you watch that episode of Bill Maher when Charlemagne the God was up there, a lot of people had a lot of issues with what was being said. But I'm gonna be honest with you all. The man, and Izzy was talking about this, I want to say last week, maybe the week before. The man said they don't have a problem with the process. It's going to be the appeal against it happening. And that's correct. We can go all the way up to our legislation. Somebody's going to stop it up there, if not above. They got, and I don't mean to throw everything off tangent because y'all were on something. I'm just using it as an example. When we speak on reparations and people like, where are we going to get the money from? Look at how we got the money for the stimulus check. And Information Man said the best. We lost Ted.
Yeah, he had
Ted,
to run.
I think
He
he
got
had
to
to
work
run.
tomorrow. He don't want to be up all night.
Yeah, I got to work tomorrow too. The stimulus package, like Information Man said, that's our money. What's the damn delay? And let's be real. You already know who's unemployed or who doesn't make enough money. The minute he signs the bill, it should have went instantaneously. I know it's about 330 million people in the country that's getting it, but you already know what it is. That's the problem we got. If you can take our money off of our paycheck, how the hell can you not give it back just as fast?
Right. Matter of fact,
and
they'll ruin you. They'll ruin you if you don't give them the money.
Process that was used against us that can't benefit us just as fast.
I got another question.
Comes from.
We all agree on every fact and everything you're saying. Everybody in the comments agrees. We got people saying politicians are idiots. Everybody saying you're right, you're right, you're right. How do these people get elected over and over? How can somebody who's 75 years old that should be at home relaxing trying to run my life? Why is that?
That's the thing. We had changed Congress already. What was it? If not this last election, the previous election, we changed Congress up. I'm old enough to know that people have been saying we need to change Congress, change people, change presidents all the time. It keeps happening. The process is bigger than who we're electing in office. We have all got to come to terms with that. It is a whole lot bigger than who we're electing in office because we're putting people in there that we want to put in there, but they can't get it done for some reason or another. That tells me there's more going on than what we know in the first place.
I want Congress to be handled like jury duty.
I think
you have to go up and serve in Congress 1 year as a citizen, and that would be better to handle it like jury duty. We don't need these professional thieves in there. Let's get some new thieves in there.
I'll give you my proposal to what's happening. One of the reasons why this continues to happen is because, one, let's just be honest, there's a hell of a lot of people who do not vote, who are disenfranchised or disillusioned from voting, and they don't want to vote anymore. So they count on your ignorance about this, the importance of voting, by you not voting, and then some fool gets in office. I mean, and then you've got this situation with voter suppression right now where they're going to these different states trying to impact black people in America from being able to vote, because Republicans, like I said on my show, they usually win elections when voter turnout is low. When it's high, check it out for yourself. Democrats usually win when it's high. So you got all this gerrymandering, all the manipulation, and both parties do the gerrymandering as well. And then you have, unfortunately, too much money and lobbying that's in politics. And then you don't have, you need to have shorter term limits to be able to hold these people accountable and get rid of them more efficiently. Another thing I'm going to put on the table here is, do you know anywhere in the world, unless you're a king, a prince, or something like that, where you have a job for permanent of life? I have a problem with the Supreme Court. You got 10 Supreme Court justices, if I'm not mistaken, if that's the right number.
I think it's an odd
They
number.
are appointed on they're appointed on that court, and they stay there forever, and they get old. They get, I'm going to be honest here, they get out of touch. I think that Supreme Court should be changed out maybe every 10 years. You need to put fresh blood into the Supreme Court. When you have people sitting there for years and decades, they become complacent and too comfortable in their jobs, and they don't serve the people. Anytime their Supreme Court says that corporations are people, and I no disrespect to people who run corporations or work for corporations, but I'm sorry, you cannot compare a corporation of millions and billions of dollars to the average person out here trying to figure out how they're going to pay their rent, their mortgage, and put damn food on the table for their kids. Not the same.
Well, I really, I'm the opposite on that thing. I don't think I need served anymore. There's a law library that has 5,000 million bills stacked on top of each other. Go in there and pull out one you need to use and use it. Quit passing new laws and new bills and new nonsense. We got so many regulations, rules, and bills on the table. There's no way in the world you could go through it. Well,
right, they don't enforce. There's a lot of things that they don't, like, for example,
enforce what you're supposed to enforce.
They're coming up with the George Floyd bill, but yet all they have to do is enforce what's in the Constitution, enforce what's already there. And then, unfortunately, it doesn't. Now, of course, they're talking about, well, we want to do police reform, training, and all of this. Look, I don't know how you train people's hate out of them if that's who they've always been all their life, based on their background, their family, who they hang out with. How do you somehow? I don't think you can police people's morality, their morals. That's
but you got to look at our world, though, just in your lifetime and my lifetime. We went from Andrew Griffin and Mayberry walking around with a no gun and talking to people to now 35 SWAT teams show up, look like they're ready to invade Iraq. But no, they're coming to your house because you possibly have one joint in your house that you may not have smoked. So we better send an army take 3 machine guns to your house over a joint. Think about it. This is the nonsense of the world. I mean, how can you go from this extreme and that extreme and then think about George? George, God bless him, and that was terrible. But these people are trained now. They're public vigilantes. They come at you in groups, in teams, overpowering you, dressed like they're headed into combat. They ain't coming to serve the public. They're coming to beat the hell out of you like you're an invader.
Well, as I get ready to, I'm gonna get off the panel, but let me say this. let me say this. Tell me if you agree with me or not, gentlemen. For as long as I'm 51 years old, as long as I've been alive, we've been conditioned to believe that somebody from the outside is going to destroy America. It's going to be some invader, some foreign country, something of that nature. But I think that we're living in a time in which we are witnessing the decay of American culture and society, little at a time. How much does it take to eat an elephant? One bite at a time, little at a time. I think our country and our world, to a certain degree, is imploding on itself. So we are actually the enemy that we're looking for outside of our country. We're the enemies because people can't get along with each other. We've got corrupt politicians, people fighting each other. We're going to destroy each other. We're going to destroy ourselves. And I don't want to see that happen. But I'm afraid, as you see all the changing in our culture, there's certain things you can't do, you can't say. Everything is about political correctness. We're living in a very delicate time. and we also are
That's true.
imploding on ourselves,
That's
gentlemen.
true.
I agree. You know, I'd like to simplify what you just said, and I believe America, you're a bunch of pussified freaks. Chill out and start living your life. No, really, look at there. Tony said, "Oh hell, I got on Randy's podcast. He done ruined me." But people
Oh,
is just older.
I hear you, Randy.
But really, everybody's up screaming about something, you know. Oh, this
Right.
guy did this or this guy did that. Oh, forget him, cancel him. He said one thing wrong. He must be die. He should never. People need a break, man. People need to tighten up a little bit and loosen up a little bit. We would joke with each other growing up about anything and everything.
Right. Have a drink.
Personal. You know,
Have a drink.
in my office, it looks like the United Nations. We
Right.
joke about our nationalities, and we do it all the time, and it's hilarious. If you have a stereotype from your country, we will pick on you about it, and we all do it in good form.
But the
It's nothing-
difference, though, Randy, is that you work. I had a chance to watch that video when you talked about that in your office. But remember, when you have a situation in your office where you have developed relationships and bonds and connections with people, when you can develop connections with people, then you're more relaxed and you can joke. Like for example, and I think Tone can agree to this too. Tony can agree to this. When you're around your friends, people that know you, that you feel comfortable with, you can joke and not take it all personal, right? But if
People
you're
know how to
around
mess with each
strangers
other,
that
but
you don't,
everybody's trying to be so much more serious and so much more
right?
disrespectful in the comedy. And the whole thing comes down from you're going to say something, but I got to come harder than you. I got to come stronger than you. I got to come better than you. And then it becomes more disrespectful. That's where we're at with the cancel culture right now. Everything is at an extreme. I want to say we're more at an extremist culture than we're at a cancel culture, because what they're trying to stop, and this is the example, what happened in DC back in January, they got to stop that shit. They got up there and they made it in. That blew my mind more than anything. Last summer, you couldn't even get your ass down the street. You mean to tell me they done climbed the walls, got in the building, walked up in the Senate House? So I understand what they're doing, but I agree with everybody. It's getting out of control because people are pushing it too far. Like you all said, the old days we could mess with each other on a regular. I was born in New York in the 70s. Everybody talked shit about each other. You had a fight. You know what I'm saying?
That was it. That's the way you did it.
That's a different, you know, I grew up, I'm a Gen Xer myself. That's a different generation, because we people are not gonna like what I'm saying here. We have a generation where we're giving kids participation trophies. Back when I was playing basketball and playing sports, if I didn't perform on the court and do well for our team, you got cut. But our coach would cuss us out and say, ain't nobody getting no damn pizza and no drinks and no party. Y'all was out there looking like crap. Now, you can't say that to kids now, because the parents will get upset. Society will say we are being too tough on them. I'm sorry. Growing up tough like that did something for me as a man. It prepared me for life, because life will kick you in the ass.
I understand that. I understand that.
Everybody's not a winner when it comes down to going to work. And you'll figure that out when you're at your job. Mark Lai said, Randy, you haven't lived here for 20 years, and all you do is criticize from your base in KSA. Mark Lai, my name is Randy W. Horton. I'm a patriot. I'm a nationalist. I'm a veteran. I'm from Hendersonville, Tennessee. I stand proud and prideful that I am an American. Whether I'm in Saudi Arabia or I'm on the moon, I was born an American. I will die an American. And how dare you criticize an American that's here to help his country prosper and to bring his people above and hope for better days. We have the right to complain, and we have the right to bring us up and down as we see fit. You can be anywhere on the planet and look at America right now and say, hey, there's some problems going on, y'all. We need to fix them. Anyway, that was my little rant to Mark. Love you, buddy.
I have something I wanted to say too, because he said something earlier. I don't know if y'all caught it, but he was like, he was never a slave owner. We were never slaves. We're not going to get his money. Bro, let me tell you something. And I said this before. We didn't ask you for the money. That's your problem. The money doesn't come from the people currently right now. We're talking about the people who did it in the first place. Now, if you've got some of the money, yeah, we want it, but we ain't say you. I said this before. We're going to have to clear that up with a lot of people because they got it misinterpreted. If we pay reparations, that means we're gonna have to pay for it. No, you don't. If you pay for it, it's because they
Oh.
made it, because we didn't ask you for the money.
Right.
Well, I'd like
Hey,
to admit
Straight,
one
man.
thing. If it ever comes down to every black man gets gets money,
Mhm.
I'm marrying me a black girl. Done. I'm doing it.
Well,
I'm a part of that deal.
let me say this to everybody listening,
I'm getting my part.
Oh,
and Tony, I did a video. I've done some specific research on this whole issue of reparations and the money that it would take. See, people think that it would bankrupt the country. No, it wouldn't. The research that I dug up, if they were to give us an annual payment every year, an annual payment, let's say 125,000, just rough estimation there, it would not bankrupt. I'm talking about an annual payment.
I ain't
It would not
to bed
bankrupt
tonight.
the
I ain't going to bed
country.
tonight. Why you doing this shit right now?
Or I know.
What's up,
Or
Eleanor? Hold on, Eleanor. Hey,
then
yo,
you
we
got
got
land. Then
Go
you
ahead,
got
man.
land
Go ahead.
too. No, what I'm basically trying to say is that America actually pays more money. America actually pays more money in foreign aid to other countries than it would take to pay those reparations. So what I'm basically saying is they do have the money. The military, they pay more in foreign aid around the world combined is more than what it would take to pay my people.
Let me
And
give
it would
you
not
some numbers.
bankrupt America.
And Randy, I'm gonna apologize again because I know this whole broadcast is
I know.
gone left.
I love
I know
it.
they gone.
I'm here now.
If you love it, we good. But I do want to
I'm
apologize.
gonna have to
I'm
book
gonna
me
say
one of
this too.
those ads in backstage soon. I got a
Ladies and
backstage
gentlemen,
right
right.
there.
All of you around the world, everybody watching, I'm gonna go ahead and break some numbers down to you for real. God damn, now we're gonna sleep, you motherfuckers. Listen, last year there was a study done on it, and I saw it from a source. I can't pull it up right now because the source was taken off of Facebook. There was a study done on how much reparations would cost. They had it at about 50 to 70 trillion if they did it from slavery to now. What's up, Abyss? Abyss, get up on these numbers. You're going to have to replay this later, but we talked about this before. Get up on these numbers. Information Man, I want you to do it too because you be digging up some stuff as well, please.
You know what? I'm
saw
gonna
last year.
drop my video in there.
Yo,
Go ahead,
we'll
brother.
get it. But the numbers I saw last year was 50 to 70 trillion that they would have to pay. Everybody's quite definitive on America not being able to pay that back ever. And I understand that part. There was a bill last year, and I'm going to say it again. It's called House Resolution 40. It came out July 13th, 2020. And it's also Senate Bill 1083, I think. And the crazy part is I saw this on CNN. When Trump was talking, this is something people didn't do. When Trump was talking and having his speeches last year, there was always something in that damn ticker tape on the bottom. And it rolled right across the bottom. It was called the Council of Mayors was having a conference. They had put up a bill for reparations, and it was supposed to go through the House first and then go through the Senate. I can see if you got a House resolution and then you got a Senate bill, it's getting there. Now we got to see what the delay is. Wait till you all see what that amount is. Now that's going to piss a lot of people off. But I cannot say that it's unjustified. Remember those numbers. It's going to be House Resolution 40 and Senate Bill 1083, I think it was. And it came from the council. It was a Council of Mayors or the Conference of Mayors. It was July 13th, It was July 13th, 2020. When y'all get a chance, look that up. And that's going to be a lot of the emphasis of what I bring forth. If anybody has any more than that, please bring it up. Please talk about it. Please let me know because I'm not going to give you something that's not factual. I don't want to give you a lot. I want to give you a rumor. I saw this on the news. Literally.
Really?
Yes. Wait till you see the dollar amount on that bill. Half of you on your computer right now, type that shit up. Y'all ain't going to believe it. Y'all are not going to believe it. That's from me to y'all. Go ahead, man. I'm sorry.
Hey, Tony.
Yes, sir.
Brother Tone.
Yes,
if you
sir.
get a chance, I dropped the video that I did about this, and I have all the numbers and data that I was talking about.
Right.
When you get a chance, check out that video that I just put in the chat room and let me know when you can what you thought about what I was talking about. And this has been studied, and in this I break down all the numbers of the money that the United States pays to other countries, military, everything.
Oh
break
man,
it down completely.
Not to cut you off. Let me ask you this: were those numbers the same as what Trump said last year? Because he brought up some numbers too. A lot of people didn't catch a lot of his news conferences. I was watching them all on purpose because he was telling some stuff people don't even know it.
Mhm.
I'm not a supporter, but I was surprised at what he was saying.
But you didn't see Trump actually put it into reality, though.
No, I did not, and I will tell you the truth on that. But I saw a lot of what he was doing during his presidency. He was calling everybody out, and people don't realize I'm older. If you're 51, I'm 48. I'm right behind you. You've been around long enough to know how bad people wanted him in office for what he was going to do. And he said,
Trump was exposing some things about the government.
Yes, he was.
But there was other things I didn't like about him. But that's
plenty. There's plenty.
I'm not going to rehash it all because you know he's out of office, and we're going to see what's going to happen. But let me be honest with you, because
give me a break though. The
people are
going to.
I'm not a fan of Biden either.
See what, Randy?
He stood in North Korea. No other president. Everybody wants to sit in their country and yell at the other president of another country or the leader and tell them how bad they are. Trump got on the airplane, walked over, and stood in North Korea with the North Korean dude.
Let me tell you the truth, though. When he went to NATO and he called NATO out, that blew my mind. Yeah. That blew my mind. And he told everybody all the numbers that was going to all these other countries and how long it had been happening. He really did. And like I said, he did a lot of press conferences.
Too bad he had an awful attitude. You know what? Every leader has the infection of all about me. And I've watched it from corporations to everywhere. The hardcore leaders are always all about me. And you have to look around that and just see the job they're doing.
I got to pull you up, Information Man. I'm going to pull you up on YouTube, man. I'm probably going to have to do it.
Yeah, pull me up. It's Information Man Show. But I specifically want you to see the video that I put in there. The link.
What I'm going to do,
I want to get your opinion about that.
Okay.
I'm not joking. If reparations become real, I'm going to look for marriage and maybe a little bit of adoption. I'm going to rack up on that deal. I wonder how many
Information Man Show.
Yeah.
I just subscribed to you now. So if you see my subscription, I think we all got inboxes up here. I got to get up on this YouTube mess. I'm going to have to get a damn studio messing around with y'all.
Yeah, but check that out, man, because I want to get your like to hear what your thoughts are about that, because I did break down some numbers, and those numbers, I don't know if they're what Trump was talking about, but in the presentation that I gave, there's 3 or 4 different tiers of examples of plans that could work and would not bankrupt America whatsoever. So if you hear anybody saying that the country would go bankrupt, it's total malarkey. It's total bull. Not true. Not true.
Well, you know what they're thinking? They're thinking that if they got to pay us, the taxpayer has to pay it back. And see, to me, that's the biggest misconstruence of the whole thing. They have already had the money. They've been drawing interest for 400 fucking years. Right. You can't tell me you don't have it.
But check this out.
You're still making money off of the old products now.
But check this out. If they did that, do you know economic? Okay, what are the economic downfalls that people have? Poor access to healthcare, job opportunities. We know that crime. When people talk about crime goes up. Obviously, when people don't have opportunities, job opportunities, don't have money, don't have anything, so crime goes up. Crime could actually go down because when people have something to create opportunity, there's no need to get into crime when you have.
Yeah, but let's be real. You can't pick a sector of society and say, hey, you're going to get this. You've got to make a general basic income to everybody in America as a citizen. And that's how you have to solve it. You can't pick one group left or right, forward or reverse. But if you give everybody a general basic income, then you can all stand on the same platform. I think that's a little bit different. But
the only problem I have with that is that when other groups have been given some type of reparation for what has happened to them, no one seems to have a problem with it until it has to do with black folks. So
who got this money before? I never heard of this.
Well, no, what I'm saying to you, okay, for example, and Tone, you can look this up too, brother. Do you know that the native, now don't get me wrong here, Native Americans have had the land ripped off. Native Americans have been treated poorly. They've been put on the worst land, right? Trail of Tears. But check this out. But the government of the United States actually gives Native Americans about $20 billion annually for health, for rebuilding of structures. They're getting so even though some of the reservations are in bad shape, as a nation, America gives them annual money.
Yeah.
Annual money. Okay.
Yeah, but what are we
Or-
doing for the Neanderthals
or what
the
was taken
Cretaceous
from them?
How many years did we go back? You're talking about something before we were born. We didn't have nothing to do with it. I mean,
Okay,
Neanderthals were wiped out. So we give
All right.
replication. Anybody has Neanderthal DNA? How far
No,
do you go back in time?
check this out.
I don't
For
want to
those,
pay for my grandfather's mistakes, and I don't want my kids to pay for mine.
why?
Well, that's what I was just saying.
Well, this is
We're
the
not
thing.
asking you specifically the people who are currently here. We're not necessarily talking about the people who are currently here. We're talking about what happened and the people who have profited off of it. Whoever has that money, that's what we want back. We just want what we earn, what we want. We want what we're worth. All of that.
Well, then,
Now, I'd like to see you pick the pockets of Johnson.
then
and
why? Wait a
I
minute.
know.
Though. Wait a minute. You're already
I
paying
know.
for what you're already paying for your forefathers when you're giving money out to groups like Native Americans. You
Yeah.
already paid for your forefathers when you gave people like Japanese that were put in camps. Matter of fact, people that are Jewish, their Holocaust happened in another country, and America gives them money. You know why?
Mhm.
Because Wall Street was involved in financing their Holocaust, along with IBM computers, which we know as computers that did what? Put the numbers on their bodies, things of that nature. So you're paying a reparation for some wrong that has been done. Now, this is the situation.
These are all good points. Now, I don't want to interrupt you.
No, I get where you're coming
Before I
from.
could walk or before I could talk,
Mhm,
within 2 days of becoming on this planet,
mhm.
somebody came into the room and cut the end of my pecker off. They circumcised me without my permission. I want money too. I had no idea they were going to do that. They're telling me God gave me something and they removed it without my permission. I want money from whoever allowed them to do that.
That'd be
Okay.
your parents.
If it
That'd
was
be your parents.
if it was state sanctioned and it was sanctioned by the government in which you live in, then you do have right for a grievance.
Think about that.
You do have
We've
right.
all had that happen. The day you're born, they start cutting parts off of men, saying that that was a mistake and for cleanliness
Right,
or for whatever.
It was cosmetic surgery, right?
Let me just leave with this one. What's different about the situation with black people in America, unlike any other group of people, is one, we didn't come over here, A, as immigrants, and two, America was built off the backs of the triangular slave trade. Without that slave trade, and without the force of building this country before many immigrants got here, a legacy was created, and that's how a lot of your major cities were created, off of that slave trade. So therefore, the foundation that America stands on was built off the backs of my people before many people came over here as immigrants, sir. And therefore, like any other group, there is a debt. There is a debt to be paid. Now, what that looks like, whether it's annual payments, whether it's land, whatever it is, there is still something to be paid. See, people have a lot of excuses, once again. All due respect to you, when it comes to our plight. But no one makes excuses and says, well, I'm not responsible for what my ancestors did. Yeah, but you benefit from what your ancestors did, which puts you in a situation to have generational wealth. It's just like if we had a race and I was a snail and you're a rabbit and you're running and I'm trying to catch up with you. So there's an advantage that you gain from generational wealth and things of that nature, but it's really about paying a debt and making people whole that had a particular situation happen in history. Now, when you say, well, where do we look at? Do we look at slavery? Sir, you can look at Jim Crow. You don't even have to go to slavery. We can look at redlining. We can look at Jim Crow laws, black code laws. We can look at what happened during Reconstruction in this country. Oh, there's so many things. Oh, let's talk about how they would take black babies and let alligators eat them. Oh, let's talk about the breeding that was going on in the state of Maryland, where they would make people purposely have sex to breed. If I told you a lot of the history, that's why I said our situation is completely different than any other group. See, people who came here as immigrants, they came over here with their shoes on, their clothes on, or even if they didn't have shoes on, they didn't come over here in shackles, and they didn't have their language stripped of them, their humanity stripped of them. Yeah, when Irish came to America and Italians, there was hate on them. You're right. They said that there was no Jews and Irish should apply for for jobs. They called them dogs. Those things happen. Those things did happen. I agree with that. But our history, it runs a little bit deeper than most immigrants that came over here way after the fact. And I'm not trying to be
I think you make a good point,
here, but it's just a fact.
and I don't see anything wrong with your point. As hard as you can press it, and I can see the wanting to gain from the history of other people and try to pocket yourself. But at the end of the day, you can act like you're the snail, or you can act like you're the rabbit.
Yeah.
The snail can also carry a pistol, and that rabbit can go down as quick as you want him to. We're all promoting these people who promote not doing what you're thinking of doing. If you'd like to get something handled like this, why do we keep electing the people who do nothing? Why there's some people
you asked a powerful question.
It is a powerful question.
It's a powerful question.
Really?
All I can say to you is that you asked a very important, powerful question. And I think that it's the old saying, if you keep doing something over and over again, it's the state of insanity. We are very insane in our voting in America. People keep doing the same thing and putting the same people in. Look, I got no cut card. We've got black politicians that I have a problem with, that have been in office. We're voting them in every year, and they still not doing a damn thing for us, whether they're white, purple, whatever. I've got problems with any politician, but I specifically have problems with people who look like me, who are supposed to represent me, and I'm putting them in office and they ain't doing a damn thing for me. So we got a lot of issues. But you know what? I still have hope.
And I hear what you're saying, and there's nobody who can change the way you feel. You feel how you feel, and that's just the way it's going to be. But living abroad for a couple of decades, I get out and about, living right in Saudi. We don't have racism. Did you know that people would never think of black, white, Arab, but it doesn't exist.
Well, do you have tribalism?
You're Saudi. And Saudi previously had slaves, and then it was abolished at some time. But everybody here is equal, and you have the same job, there's no snail and rabbit scenario. It doesn't matter what your color is, and nobody even talks about it. So it's kind of strange to see this total Americanism type thought when the rest of the world doesn't think like this at all.
Right.
And
but you do, but Randy,
people.
But you do what you admit to me before I get off, sir, and sir to brother Tony here, that you do have tribalism. If you don't have people going by color, don't you have tribalism?
Tribalism is the rule of community law. It's not a racial situation. What it is the tribe works its way up to try to solve their problems before it needs to go to the high court or the king. So the tribes are just to help support community law. Just the way it used to be in your neighborhood when you were young, when you did something wrong and your neighbor called up your mom.
That's right.
You know what I mean? They used to do that to us. You didn't have to worry about the police. They'd call your mom. And your dad get home and he'd whip you, he'd beat you to death because neighbors been calling you out there making a fool of them.
Right. Well, I'm gonna get ready. I enjoyed the conversation. I got to get something to eat, and I'm tired. Tone, hey, good talking to you. Check out the video. Randy, good man, good conversation. You're a fair man. I appreciate that. You're fair in your commentary.
Somebody said I was playing. I am not playing. I'm talking the way I talk. If you don't like the way I talk, the way I walk, God bless you. I hope you do better.
Hey, take care. This was great. This was great.
We're gonna do this again, man. Good talking to you finally. You know what I'm saying?
All right, everybody, take care.
Man, we got to get you back. We got to get you together. We'd all love to talk to you. Tony, I'll see you Friday, I hope.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you'll see me on here. I'm always on here checking out people's shows.
Long arguments with you. But I don't really argue. I just throw out
Friday night and Saturday, I ain't got to work, so I'm gonna take a nap before I get up here with y'all because y'all gonna have me up 3-4 hours. If we get Izzy up here, that's gonna be 6 to 7. I'm gonna tell you now.
All right, y'all.
Yeah, I'll check you out. Take care.
Everybody up here, man. Holler at all y'all soon. All right, take care.
All right, thanks, Tony.
No problem. Thank you.
Have a good one, dude.
You too.
Bala boom. All right, everybody. I think maybe we'd all get together later. You know, somebody said, "Oh, I think you're playing or something." Man, I just bring humor to every situation so it doesn't get so serious. If you don't understand the way I live and the way I work, I try to be a part of a community that is inclusive, not exclusive. I'm friends with everybody and anyone because I can feel what they say. When I feel something maybe getting carried away, heated, I'll say some stupid stuff and you go, he's not serious. No, it's not that I'm not serious. That's my gentle, polite way of calming things down and doing a little reset and then moving forward. So you have your master in theory, and I have my master in theory, what I think I need to do to bring things back again. So, yeah, you're welcome. Thank you, Miss Gerber. And information man, I can't wait to get up here and talk to you more. I think we should talk more. Partisan stuff. There you go. It can all be partisan, but you know, I think we all got to look at what people feel. So if he feels that way, you can't tell him not to feel that way. And in your life and in your daily world, you cannot change the way people feel. I appreciate humor helps diffuse. Exactly, Marie. I don't care if you're green, brown, white, or any other color. I hear you. I'm the same way, Chris. I don't care if you kiss boys, girls, or goats. We can still be friends. So, but I do. We just got to, you know, we have to defuse sometimes, and that's what humor does. It may be off the wall and seem inappropriate at times, but there's a purpose. There's a method in the madness. There's a great conversational better than my place. Hey, there you go. Thank you. Welcome, Brian. We appreciate you. Harry Morton, thank you. Everybody who's here, we appreciate you for coming into. I don't know how we got into this. What was I talking about to begin with? I don't even remember why we started talking. Anyway, Infoman, we really appreciate you, brother. Let's get back up and talk some more. And shoot me a DM on Twitter anytime. Yeah, thank you, Janice. All right, everyone, have a good one. You're welcome, Ted. We appreciate you a lot. Information is the sincerest form of flattery. Yes, it is. All right, everybody, thank you again. Remember to follow the people that were here. Maybe you get in the room and like to hear what they have to say. Even if you don't like to hear what people have to say, you got to remember people feel a certain way. You can't change the way people feel. So how can you argue? If I feel this way, you can't argue with me telling me my feelings are wrong. So adios. Thank you. Have a beautiful day. I've got to jump in the shower and get to work. I got to make that money to give my honey. Hi ho.